Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm Manny from Manny's Content, obviously, and I'm sitting here today with the one, the only, more specifically, my big brother, Malike DJ. Malik, what's going on, bro? How you
What's
doing?
happening, man? What's happening,
How's it
man?
going,
Good
man?
to be here in the mountains, you know what I'm saying? Good to be here, you know? Freezing my butt off, but
You feel me?
it's Floridians cold, but
Oh, yeah.
glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming, bro. I
Absolutely,
appreciate
man.
you, man.
It's a
Thank you
pleasure.
for giving me your time. But we're gonna start off first something simple. I like to ask questions, just very simple for everybody, just to, get the feel of what's about to happen. So my first question to you is, how are you feeling mentally, emotionally? How are you doing in general?
Well, nice light ball question there, softball question. How am I doing right now in this moment, in the present moment? I'm great, bro. It's Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we got some oxtail cooking. Got some family here. Food and family. What else is there?
Right.
And so right now I feel like I'm in a place where I'm able to slow down. Which you grind all year long. You take little breaks here and there, but this is like the long break for me. So feeling a lot less on edge. Feeling like I have some capacity. Like I have some bandwidth, and that's good, man. Because I go hard. So good to be here. Glad you're here, man. So overall, I'm doing good, man.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I'm glad I'm here too, man. I know I missed.
Missed last year. Sorry, man.
What's up, man?
Well, yeah, look, man, we got a lot more years to go. So,
Facts.
Always got to make sure, no matter how hard you grind and build and work, that you take time to be present in a human being, not a human doing. And as a Nigerian, as son of the immigrants and all that stuff, the hustle's inside of me. So to be able to stop and just be present is good, man. So,
Facts.
yeah, man.
As a black boy.
As a black boy.
Nah, man. But to get this thing started, what qualities do you think make a successful leader?
Oh, it's good. It's actually my theme for this next year. I don't know if I told you, but if not, it's a great question. But successful leader, man. There's all different types of leader. I mean, I think it's such a loaded question because Hitler was a great leader.
True.
In the sense of he had the ability to lead a bunch of people to do some horrible, evil things. Right. But he was a leader. So then I go, well, is it a great leader the amount of people you can lead to do something? Is it the direction that you're leading them to? Mm-hmm. Is it the way you're leading them? Is a tyrant or a dictator as good as a leader as a democratic, diplomatic leader? I don't know. Was Alexander the Great, a great leader? Is Kim Jong-un a good leader? So I don't know. It's a really tough question because I think there are strategic things that make a good leader, like the ability to speak and persuade and create vision and capture attention. And then, so there's a strategy, but there's also the direction in which you're leading them to.
Right.
And that's where the gray nuance is. But I bring it down from big leaders to me. Mm-hmm. The way I measure success as a leader is is the direction that I'm going with the people that I'm going with. Mm-hmm. Right. That's the first part. The direction that I'm going and who I'm going with, and then I measure the next level of success is how I treat them and if they can make it with me to the end, right? How far can I lead people in the right direction by still treating them as humans and loving them and making sure that they're okay as well. My ability to strategically communicate that, to give them vision, and at the same time, I don't want to lead people only to benefit me. Mm-hmm. And what I'm doing, I want to lead people to benefit them too. So when we get to the end of where we're going, we could have left them better off.
Right.
So it's not just did I drag people to the end of the finish line? No, did they become a better person because of my leadership? Okay. Did I treat them as humans? Did I love them? Did I serve them? And was I an example of the leadership that the place I wanted them to be?
Right. So does that mean, because in order for you to be a great leader, you have to be a great follower. So do you think you were a great follower before then?
Yeah, I think in order to lead people, you have to understand the people you're leading. And so that, I think in one sense it's good to follow because you know what you needed to follow someone. You know how you wanted to be treated, you know how you wanted to be communicated to. So you definitely have to be able to follow to lead in that sense, but also you need that because you need to learn, and leaders are always learning, and good leaders are always following someone else and following other trains of thought and other good like ideas. So yeah, like good like, because also at the same time, like even when you're a leader isn't on the back of the train of people pulling or the back of the horse or whatever, saying everyone push, everyone pull. No, the leader's in the front pulling with the people. And so I think that's important, is that leadership is like this sense of, you have to have the sense of humility and not thinking that you're better than the people you're leading, even though you're in a place of elevation, you know?
Okay. So when it comes to leading, we all know that you are the leader, founder, curator of Curate, right?
Entertainment, yeah.
So how come you chose this field of entertainment?
No, I'm gonna say the most cliche thing. I didn't choose it; it chose me. No, it's cause I think it's cliche because you kind of go, well, it's kind of like destiny in the sense of like who I was, who I am, my essence, my like being of like walking into a room, feeling everyone's temperature, and going, okay, how can I influence this room to be a little bit more energetic or more joyful?
Right.
How can I implant my energy into a room, change how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the room, and ultimately leave the room and people go, I'm glad that guy's in that room. Like, you know, that's always been, whether it's music or social gatherings, church, school, like, it's just like, yo, Malik walked into a room, he does something. And so when you pick up certain things like DJing, you realize that you add another level of influence, like music.
Right.
So now I can influence you with my personality and my heart and my energy, but then I can take music and channel that as well and make you feel something. And so I started doing that just as, you know, high schooler, you know, doing parties and going from that to weddings. And I was just doing it on the side. And then I was also a teacher and a pastor and at marketing, and did a couple things and kind of ended my way into this dead end road of like, you know what, I'm really good at this. It makes me money and I help people. Like, that's the sweet spot. That's called ikigai. It's like Japanese called ikigai. This ability to be in this compare and contrast Venn diagram chart where all things line up to where what you love provides you money and helps the world.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the perfect place to be. Because a lot of times we have one of those things or two of those things, but not all three. Like, we're working, but we don't feel like we're getting fulfillment, or we're doing a job that's fulfilling, but we're not getting paid what we need, or we're making a lot of money, but we're not helping anyone.
Right.
And you're like, shit, like, you know. So you could do all three of those. You know, I could provide for my family, I could be creative, and I can help people have the best day of their life. Let's go. You know.
So I actually want to touch on this quote that you said, and I took it from your website, and the quote said, I spent my childhood in New York City, where I was surrounded by the best music, art, and creatives in the world. So, with that quote being said, who are some of your favorite artists, as you know, as it relates to music?
Sheesh, controversial one, Kanye.
Yeezy.
He's just great. And obviously, politically and all kinds of stuff, whatever. But his ability to change the status quo and to challenge the forms of the silhouettes of designs and the way you hear music and the samples and the raps and the putting all these people together in one room and the collaboration and the freedom of expression and the like cutting edge, being on the front, the pioneer, being the first, like all that shit is what I love. All that shit is what my alter ego is. And I know Kanye's like the alter ego for... Kanye says the things that everyone would wish they could say, even if they didn't believe. He's the first one to wear, skinny jeans, make it popular. He wears the shutter shades, and he wears the glow in the dark, and he does the Yeezus did, and he does the Life of Pablo. And every season of Kanye is like this new iteration, and I feel like that's what we all kind of wish we could be. So, Ye at the top for sure is the greatest artist, influential of all time to me. And then like artist wise, like Kid Cudi, or like Drake, or going back to even like the Motown era of music, where like certain music that was being made and the soul, Nina Simone, and like and then your favorite rappers, and then like my parents with what they listened to, like our dad with Michael Jackson,
right?
You know, that influenced me. That's just like a cliche. Everyone, Michael Jackson was like, of course,
Of course.
But like my talent show in high school, I did a Beat It and Thriller. And won that shit. You know, Mr. Triton.
I forgot about that. I'm like, oh my God.
Nah. So like I like that stuff, but I remember like try to take one of my dad's bad Michael Jackson tapes and I wanted to take it home because he lived in Brooklyn and I lived in Queens and I wanted to take his Michael Jackson tape, but he would kill me if I did.
Right, nah,
you know. So it's just like that's the stuff. Like my environment, you know, basketball, street ball, like battle rap, like you could just go everywhere. And then moving to Florida and Latin music and country music and rock music and like shit that I was exposed to when I came to Florida, like System of a Down and like Nirvana. I learned about like grunge rock and I learned about it's like all this shit just makes up like who I am. And then if I could have all those people in a room, a Latina, a country dude, a rapper, you know, a Caribbean guy, and I could drop dance hall, rock, country, hip hop, Afrobeat, and hit them all back to back, and I got the whole room united. You know, so just like there's so many things influenced me, dog. Like, you know.
So speaking of Florida, right? You went to Florida. In my opinion, you started like the second half of your life, right? Which is Curate Entertainment. Right, so can you share the story behind how you founded Curate and what's the mission of Curate in the entertainment industry?
Yeah, I mean, I started Curate because I was a solo operational DJ, doing about 75 weddings a year, and you know, it was a creative outlet, but it was also like a lot of business. I was making, you know, I'm in the luxury wedding industry. And so ultimately, I was booked and busy, so booked that like every time I get a call, it's like, hey, I'm booked. And I just started feeling like I'm leaving all this money on the table. All these people, I'm generating so much buzz and so much leads and traffic. And I wish I could generate more of this. And I was really coming down to, I wish I could duplicate myself. I wish I could clone myself. And it took me a while to like finally take the jump. But I mean, I met Yaz and I was also focused on doing podcasts and stuff and kind of like putting money and time into stuff that wasn't really getting me a return on my investment yet. And, you know, ultimately I was like, you know what? I think if I focus on building this business and duplicating myself and finding other DJs of like mind who I can train and send out and keep the same quality, like we can really scale this thing. And so ultimately that's what I did. In 2019 launched, I hired 5 guys, did train them kind of on the way that I do things, the Curate way. We launched 2019. And then we've been blowing up ever since. I mean, we hit COVID. I got married, I had a baby, and we kind of stalled this out a little bit. But then at the end of 2020, we fucking went up. 2021 was like a record year. 2022, another record year. 2023, another record year. We're exponentially growing, man. So now we went from 5 DJs at the start, including me, to now we have 17 and counting.
Congratulations on the success,
so. Yeah,
congratulations.
I appreciate it. Yeah, well, Curate, but the second part of the question is like, what does Curate mean to me?
Yeah,
it's
what
like
the mission
is to create. Let me start over. The mission is to impact people's lives, and the way we do that is creating memorable moments and meaningful experiences, moments where they won't forget, but they also won't forget how meaningful we made it to them. That we put our love, sweat, tears, energy, hearts, minds, time, resources into making sure that this day went the way they've always dreamed of or better.
Right.
And not only getting them the end result they want, but in the process becoming friends with them, showing love to them, care, attention, and hopefully that we leave this earth a better place because we exist.
So why the name Curate though?
Because Curate is about showing people what's good. It's not just like random. When I'm making food, I'm curating a dish, I'm thinking about, oh, Manny is from Nigeria, or he's Nigerian, he's born in Brooklyn, so I'm going to curate a dish that maybe it's a chopped cheese with goat meat in it. You see what I did there? I curated it for you specifically. I crafted, created, built up something that is specifically for you that will pay homage and give you a unique experience that no one else is going to get but you.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. We're curating. We're giving you the exact thing you need.
So how does Curate Entertainment differentiate from all the other DJ companies out there?
I don't know about any other DJ company.
Oh, you feel me?
I don't know about them. All I know is about what we do. what we do is we inject energy and joy into rooms we go to. I don't know what other people do. All I know is that when we show up, a level of attention to detail, a level of style, our very carefully curated style and energy and transition is going to give you this experience that feels elevated, yet feels classy and tasteful. I don't know about what anyone else does. All I know is that when you hire us, you're getting the most unique experience that I can, because it's not just about our equipment or how professional we are or our technology or whatever, equipment, all that stuff. It's about who we are and how we show up. When we show up, we walk in the room and you're like, damn, who are these guys? You know, and that's the difference for us, is that we lean heavily into what we love and what we do. Right. When you hire us, you're getting energy. You don't hire us if you feel like you just want a nice little chill dinner party. You come to us when you want everyone you know and love to go level 10 all night, but still feel heard and seen by the music that they love. Right. And the cultures that they are from, the generation that they are in. That's what you're getting.
So you mentioned Yaz, right? Your wife, Yasmin. I'm going to put you on the spot here. So how has Yaz impacted your life thus far?
Well, I'm a wild boy.
I'm
been a wild Pokemon in the woods.
Nice.
Trying to be caught by Ash Ketchum, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, what?
And so I'm naturally, I grew up them calling me the Bush Boy. So me being wild, when I met Yaz, she's helped me see like that stability and like consistency and all that stuff is important to success just as much as change and fast pace. So Yaz kind of like grounded me in like, hey, like routine, and we still fight about it, right? To this day, like, cause I go this way. I'm a wild boy, born in the woods, in a cave, right? And so I've learned that stability, consistency, calculation, planning, all those things that I just think has been stupid all my life, like unnecessary, are things that are not just help you win, it helps you sustain. Sustainability is the key. Longevity is the key. I want to win over time. I don't want to just win now. I want to win over time for a long amount of time. So that's what Yaz, like the first thing, like Yaz with me personally, with Curate, has been like, how do we keep this going? Because if not, I would have just went fast into it and then burnt out, fell off a cliff, and So that's been the biggest thing, and then, just obviously like we're building a family, so with Curate, just I'm out a lot. I'm traveling. I'm kind of like scaling a company, and so with that, her just understanding and patience and ability to, do her best that she can to understand like the thing that we're building has been to, So she stayed home with Isla, and we're about to have another baby. So obviously, birthing my children and taking care of home is important, and So those are just two things: grounding me, and then like just being a support in what I'm doing,
And you guys have Isla already. Yeah. Isla.
Shout out Isla.
Shout out Isla. And you guys have another baby on the way. This time it's a boy.
It's a boy.
I don't know if you want to tell the name yet.
Boy. Nah, by the time this comes out, I don't know when you're dropping this.
No.
But Malike, little Kai, you know what I'm saying?
That boy gonna be a wild boy. See who's bad?
We'll see. We don't know. We don't know how they gonna come out. I thought Isla's gonna be wild, but she's chilling.
Now Isla's very calm.
Yeah.
Very calm. So how did having Isla impacted your life? Like, were there any challenges so far with it? Obviously being a dad, you're gonna have those challenges there where you feel like, man, all right, how do I take care of her, take care of my wife, Curate, so how does having Isla impact your life thus far?
It makes you value your time, which is a domino effect. Once you start valuing your time, and once you get a little perspective on time and like how many weekends, how many weeks, how many months, how many years you have with your daughter until she leaves, until she grows up and is a full adult, time is of the essence. And so every time I leave my house, I think about how much it costs. My value of an hour is different. An hour of my daughter is very valuable.
Right.
So when I go and do a gig or someone's asking me to hire me, like my time is valuable. You want me to come out on a Saturday in November? Like that's holiday season when my daughter's gonna go to a pumpkin patch,
right?
And that's on Saturday. So if I go do what am I giving up? What's the opportunity cost? You gotta pay me $10,000 to not be with my daughter this day, so that I can take that $10,000 and book a vacation for me and my daughter, or get her to college. So it's like right now, it's like I feel like I'm trading time for money. I feel like I'm exchanging time for money, and I'm taking that value. So, like the balance of time, because also like I'm also grinding and hustling.
Right.
So I can't be with my daughter. If I was gonna sit with my daughter every day, I wouldn't make money.
Right.
Ultimately, I'd be broke. Ultimately, not be able to get her the life she wants. So life is like this exchange of time with money. And then this calculation of for the greater good. If I do hard things now, I won't have to do them later.
Right.
But if I go too hard now, I'm also missing out on moments that are precious.
Right.
So I have to some point go, you know what? Money is not worth the time right now. Like making the time is more valuable. And it's somebody to go, well, the money's more valuable because the money will equal the time later. Right. So it's a sick ass game that you play.
So when it comes to it, because I know personally, to me, I'm biased. You know, you're my older brother. You're very inspirational to me, and I know you're very inspirational to a lot of people around the world because you've impacted so many lives. But who? It don't have to be a specific person. It don't have to be a group of people. But who does Malike hope to inspire with his work ethic?
You, your brother, my brother, anyone that I know. I feel like a lot of people tell me, like, bro, like, I watch you from afar and you inspire me or whatever. Whatever. I appreciate that. But ultimately, if I can inspire you to be the best version of yourself, and one of my favorite things is seeing something in someone and going, yo, do you know that you can do this? Like, I see that. And they're like, what? That's why I love, like, a lot of our DJs, like, shoot, like, they just wanted to come be an assistant. And then I ended up going, like, yo, like, you have the personality to do what I do. And they're like, really? And then, boom. 6 months later, they're booked and busy with Curate Entertainment. Right. That's one of my favorite things. Calling out a leadership strength, or calling out creative strength, or calling out something that I see that you may not see, that you finally go, damn. And then me cheering you on as you're doing, like, yes, let's fucking go. Yeah.
Right.
That's dope, man. So yeah.
What advice, because we're winding out here, and thank you again for your time. I appreciate it.
Freezing my ass off.
I know.
Should have wore a jacket.
You look clean, though.
Yeah.
Look clean, though.
You see the drip.
So what advice do you have for people that are trying to get into your profession, whether it being creating a business or DJing? Like, what advice, especially if they're giving up?
Focus for a long time. Adjust when needed. Focus. Stop doing 8 things at once. For a little bit amount of time. And then when you do that one thing, stick around in it long enough to see a result. Stop giving up too quick when it gets hard. But when you've gone long enough, self-reflect, have people in your corner to tell you what you're not seeing, calculate if you should keep going in it, quit when you need to. Now, when I say quit, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. If you know that you're not going to win this hand, fold. You'll live to see another day. Don't spend your life trying to be a rapper for 30 years. Dude, at some point, ask yourself, have people around you, hey, do I have a good business plan? Do I have a good marketing plan? Like, what am I not doing right? But before you even get there, I think the biggest problem of our generation right now is that we quit too quickly. Don't start a podcast if you're not going to do it for a year and put out an episode every week or consistently.
Okay.
Be consistent long enough to see the reward and reap the reward. Don't give up when it gets harder, where you're not getting views or when you're not getting the result you want. Keep going. Focus in. Double down. Add more investment. Don't quit. I'm going to go start something else. I'm going to go start something else. Yeah, you haven't stuck with it long enough to even see where it's gone.
Right.
So I would say focus. When I started to see exponential growth when I became one-track minded on Curate Entertainment. Not podcasting, not this, not that. I was one-track minded long enough. Just hit the glass long enough to see it break.
Right.
And that's my biggest thing.
Well,
I
definitely had to hear that. because I had problems myself with trying to, you know, stay in one place when it comes to things that I want to do so much. But Malik, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Where can people find you on social media, bro?
You can find me in MySpace. Check out my top 8. You can find me on Instagram, DJ_Malike, MALIKE, Curate Entertainment, CURATE_Entertainment. Yeah, man, you know, catch me outside, you know.
How about that? Appreciate you, bro.
Love. This is part 1. We'll do this again. We'll update update them every year, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you guys. Later.
Come on, dog.